What are some things college students should be doing right now at the beginning of the spring semester? I want to discuss some strategies that will help you possibly end up with a 4.0 if you would like that this semester. So I'm going to tell you some things to keep in mind. These are strategies that can work for people of all levels of academic expertise. So don't worry if you feel like you've only gotten C's in the past, or even if you've always got A's, but you are doing things in an inefficient manner, this should help you as you look at this. So as you look at these strategies. My name is Amos Tarfa. I'm a medical physicist with a bachelor's degree in chemistry. I had a minor in philosophy. My master's degree was in medical physics and also in medical health physics. And I'm a PhD student now in chemistry and STEM education. So here's the deal. I started a tutoring center back in 2013 called the Learning Institute for Excellence, and it was focused on academic enrichment, helping students excel, and so on and so forth. And so I want to share some of the strategies I've seen that have helped students and that can help you. My wife and I homeschool our 6 kids, and education is dear to our heart. So let us look at some strategies. Number 1, we need to encourage going into this semester, you need to recognize, right? I want to encourage you to get a calendar and write down all the due dates, especially now that you've received your syllabus. Let's look at a few things here. So for example, you take a calendar, right? This is just a blank, month of February, and you write in all the specifics. So you write down all your project due dates. Right? Your project due dates. You write down all the exam dates, right? You know when you're going to have exams, when the projects are. And when you do that, that allows you to then break down the tasks into smaller preparation tools, right? Preparation steps. You don't want to wait till the week of your finals or the week of your project in order to get things done. So that's why you want to get a calendar, right? Sometimes your school even gives you a calendar, and or maybe you want to use your computer, Google Drive or Microsoft Outlook. But get a calendar, write the due dates for the projects, for the exams, and so you can start preparing ahead. Then take those big projects, right, and create a specific day for when you're going to, for example, on February 7th, I'm going to work on part of this project that is due on February 28th. So you actually write down the little steps you're going to take for that project that is due at the end of the month, break that project into manageable pieces, and then work on each of those pieces over a period of time. Now, there are grids that will take you like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. They have those grids. Otherwise, I have one I can send you that I've made for students. And basically, the idea is you should print those grids for specific days and then write down what are you going to do at 9 o'clock on February 7th as it relates to whether it's studying for a class or whatever it might be. Now, let me tell you one strategy. There is a strategy that we don't use as much in America, but that we used a lot in Nigeria. And this is the strategy. When you have a plan, what I mean is, I don't see as many students using it here, especially like high school, middle school, but we used it back home. And here, back home in Nigeria, here's what I learned. No matter what is going on in a particular class, even if there's no assignment, still plan time to study for that class. So for example, you might be in a math class and you don't have any assignment, but could you review your notes? Could you do some extra practice problems for that specific topic that you might be struggling in? So notice that you need to schedule specific practice time for each subject, even if you don't have anything that is going on in that class. Now, I will make more videos on these strategies. This is just one to help us get going and thinking for the semester. So, number 1, get a calendar and write down all the big due dates. Number 2, take the big projects and try and break them down into smaller pieces, which you can work on over time. Let me know if you have any questions on that one. Number 3, try and get a study group established. Establish a study group or get a group of friends or ask your friends if they want to join this study group, and then make principles. This is something I thought about yesterday. When you have a study group, try and establish some principles. So maybe we're going to study for 40 minutes and then we'll take 5 to 10 minutes to just interact, see how everyone is doing, and then we study for another 40 minutes. The reason why you want to establish the framework for your study group is that you might have a study group where everyone just comes and you guys start chatting about life and about what documentary you watched, and before you know it, you just spent 2 hours and you didn't accomplish anything for your class, right? So then you would have to go back to your residence and start studying sometimes till midnight, which is something you want to move away from if possible. Now, when I was a college student, I did have to stay up till midnight, 1 o'clock sometimes trying to study. But now looking back, I've realized if you can put an efficient strategy, you can do better and not have to stay up all night. It's just not healthy to do it that way, because you want to be able to get good sleep, and if possible, get up early, maybe read the Bible, get refreshed, get your mind in the zone, pray, commit the day to the Lord, and then dive in, go be a blessing to someone, right? But if you're just trying to, make it through the midnight and then you roll out of bed by 7 o'clock to run to class, that's just not the way to go. So let's try our best to get to bed and, get good sleep. Some people say they need 8 hours of sleep. Some might need 7.5 hours. Try and find what you need and try your best to be effective in how you use your time. This is another very important strategy for college students. Find a good note-taking approach that works for you. What is a good note-taking approach that works, right? Take that note-taking approach and use it. So for example, if you go to a class and the professor uses a PowerPoint, and the PowerPoint is very helpful, print the PowerPoint, for example, if he gives it to you or he or she gives it to you, and then on the right side of the PowerPoint, write notes or added comments that can help you as you study. So find whatever note-taking approach works for you. Examine your study preferences and examine your study skills and your study habits. Take time to reflect on that, because what you want to do in academics is you want to build the habit of building a solid base and then going from there. So here's what I mean by building a solid base. The story is told of two people that were trying to cut down a tree. One of them sharpened their axe before they went, and then they got done much quicker than the other one that had a dull axe, and they kept trying and trying, and it took them longer and they were not as efficient. You want to sharpen the axe so that when you go to cut down the tree, you are done. You need to be efficient and effective. There are some good books on this topic that we can talk about later, but I just want to encourage you to make sure you do your part to do the homework, the homework of preparing, being aware of your study skills and study habits that work well for you, so that you can use them to be efficient and effective, so that you have more time to be a blessing to others. Okay. Let's look at the last two here. Create a daily schedule. I touched on this before, but if you're a college student or high school student, create a schedule. What is the plan for the day? What is the plan for the week? Which leaves me with one major thing that every college student should do. Limit social media use during the semester, especially if it's distracting you. Now, there are some social media platforms I think you should not even be dealing with at all. But I'm just saying, if you're going to use social media as a way to interact and encourage people, notice that I'm trying to give a specific purpose there. Because if you're using it for no purpose at all, or a purpose that doesn't make sense, you might find yourself comparing yourself to other people or getting distracted for no purpose. But if you have a purpose that you're using it for that is productive, okay, and again, this is a very small category that we can find. People like Cal Newport will tell you that you shouldn't even have the social media at all. But if you think you can use it as a tool to keep in touch with people and so on, then limit the use. When you make your schedule for the day, and you say, well, I have 5 minutes here, I'm going to use social media. Okay, well, try to stick to the limit. Do not allow it to engulf your life. So please feel free to share this video with others. There'll be more strategies that I'll be sharing, talking about, making time for the word, making time to pray, making time to encourage your friends, making time to be involved in fellowship and with the community, shining the light, right? Ignore the groupthink mentality. Don't get carried away with the crowds, okay? In your school. Instead, stay focused. Stand out. Be like Daniel and Joseph. We'll have a series on Daniel and Joseph this year. I also have a teaching on the book of Ephesians that will be coming out soon. So if you want to get all these, make sure you stay tuned. Please feel free to like this video, share, subscribe to the channel. I'll try and get out videos regularly talking about faith, apologetics, character development, and education, because I want to see the next generation of students excel in all areas of life. Thank you so much for taking time to watch this video. Again, please feel free to share this with others. I appreciate your time. Have a blessed day and all the best this semester as you go into the spring semester. Take care.